And oh, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of James. How are we doing this week? It was the 4th of July weekend, and it was a really good weekend, man. Had to, you know what? I just did a 4th of July stream for the PTSD Discord, and it was a really good time. We played some Call of Duty. I still love Call of Duty, man. I am still in love with Call of Duty, and the reason why I took a big pause break there is because you do these things, you figure things out along the way, and I just figured out the noise suppression filter on OBS and Streamlabs. So I'm watching the green bar go up, and then I stop, and you shouldn't be able to hear the AC right now because I put a noise suppression filter on this thing. So we'll see how it turns out. Um, but this week is a topic episode week. Um, as someone who listens weekly, I appreciate you so much. Reached out and asked if I could do this topic through my perspective and how I feel about it. And yeah, so we're just gonna get right into it. So thank you for joining, and see you in there. And hello. Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of James. Um, this week is this week is a topic episode week. Uh, the topic is change. And no, it is not the change you carry around in your pockets, the annoying stuff the annoying clickety clackities. It is the change of life, as it were. There's a lot of things in life that do change. Actually, almost everything in life changes. But the one thing that doesn't change is that everything changes. And I think that's a very important thing. If you can understand that early in your life, uh, you're going to have life figured out pretty quick. That everything changes and nothing stays the same. For a lot of people, a lot of people will reject change, and a lot of people will make sure that they stay the same to feel comfortable, and that's a very horrible way to look at things. It's a very, very um, how do I put it? That's a very naive way of looking at life. Embrace the change. Embrace the fact that things are going to change, and embrace the fact that you have the ability to be a part of that change. You know what I mean? Uh, every week, every day, something changes for me, and it's kind of what I'm kind of in that period of life where it's just like, okay, like this is what God wants from me. If I got to change something, uh, even if it's not drinking energy drinks anymore, or if it's not, cursing anymore, which I'm trying to get better about actually as the weeks go by. I don't know if you noticed, I've done a lot less cursing on this podcast than I have recent. Uh, that's it's tough. I'll say that you want to stop cursing. Even doing that is tough when you've been doing it all your life. So, and man, it was just it's just a part of the vocabulary. But now we gotta, kind of remove it and kind of better ourselves. And, you know, that's just a lot hard. That's hard, and the fact that it's hard means it's good. If something is changing and it's hard for you, that's a good thing. That means you're in the right place and you need to be there. So, but I wrote down a few questions that I would ask myself that I asked Google. So here we go. What is the definition of change? What I just, sometimes we don't know a simple definition. Like I went through college back in 2020, and one of the questions was, what is Wi-Fi? Simple question. I didn't know the answer to it. I didn't know how to answer that. So I went to Google, and that's what we did for the definition of change. And here it is. The definition of change is to make someone or something different, alter or modify. Simple. Very, very simple. I mean, something is changing. Let's say something you've been doing something for 4 years. Okay, high school. For me, high school. I went to high school at Roger Bacon for 2 years, and then I went to Great Oaks for 2 years for their what you call it? Their why is it's like, okay, you go to school for half the day doing your studies, and then for the rest of the day you do your trade. It's like a trade tech school or trade school, like welding, auto body, yada yada yada. So going from prim and proper Catholic high school to greaseball, dirtball, auto mechanics, and adapting to new people and how they think and whatnot was a big change for me, man. Um, I went to a Catholic school all my life until that point. So it was Our Lady of the Rosary grade school, to Roger Bacon High School. Then we went to the trade school, which is like every high school in the area all in one place. So you get uh, prim and proper kids down to I'm trying to be nice about this. Uh, uh, Down to you know, people doing drugs in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like you get that kind of thing, or the drug addicts. Let's just say drug addicts. So prim and proper, all the way down to the drug addicts. And don't get me wrong, Catholic school has it too, but I never saw it. You know what I mean? Now that I get to see it, was a huge change for me. So it is. It was a big change for me, and I felt like I fit right in. I didn't do drugs in high school. You know what I mean? I didn't do them. I was always told to stay away from drugs. They were bad. You know. Come to find out, marijuana is not that bad. So I will be an advocate for that drug till the day I die, dude. Okay, this is I. So I don't know if you're hearing it, but I have my phone is connected to this Mac, and I have this stupid little app that like mirrors your phone, so like you're gonna hear Discord chimes and all that shit. There we go. First cuss word of the night. Um, so getting people to see stoned or strung out and something like that was a big culture shock for me. But you know what? I felt like I fit in for some reason. And here's lesson number one: if something's gonna change and you feel like you fit in, this will be lesson number two. If you feel like you fit in, you're at the right place too. You're at the right place too. If it's hard, number one, if it's hard, you're at the right place, and number two, if you fit in, you're at the right place. so don't confuse the two though. They're very two line in the sand ideas. You know what I mean? Something could be hard and you fit it. You know what I mean? It's change is tricky. Change is tricky. And you gotta understand what kind of a monster it is. You know what I mean? You really do. But here's the next question I asked. Is transformation change? The idea of transformation. Yes, transformation is a type of change, but it is more profound and fundamental shift than a typical incremental change. While change can be simple situations or replacements, transformation implies a complete alteration, often involving a new form, nature, or function. I kind of feel like that that's the biggest part of change is transformation. That would be number one because I'll just keep using the high school to college reference. You're going from a high school student which doesn't know anything about life, about people, about uh, you know, the birds and the bees and yada yada yada. You're going to an institution, college, that is off the chains. It is unhinged, and it is quite. It's a lot. Okay, it's a lot bigger attitude than high school. High school, you get drops and you can see it a little bit, but in college, you get to see everything. You you do not, especially if you're going to like a university where you're staying on campus, which I never did. I never got to experience, but I was around enough people to see it. So it's a wild change, and you're gonna have to transform yourself into that. You're gonna have to walk it, talk it, breathe it, sleep it, everything. You know, don't just go to this new institution and say, well, I mean, everything that worked for me there is going to work for me here. Nope, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Why? Because you're in a brand new situation. You're in a brand new place. And maybe your friends went with you. Maybe your friends didn't go with you. If you're all by yourself, latch on to people that that make that make your energies feel good. You know what I mean? Just don't hang out with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can use those same techniques as in high school. Some people you just don't want to hang out with. Some people you love to hang out with. Repeat the process. Um, but for me, I went to Cincinnati State Technical College, which is a 2-year college. It's not the typical, University of Cincinnati or Xavier University, not the big campuses where you can stay on campus. I was in the dumb classes in high school, the remedial classes. They look, I mean, honestly, I just saw a 17-year-old picture of me, and I look like a complete stoner. I'm not. Everybody thought my favorite day was 420. So, uh, it is one of those things where I, ooh, that was rough. I saw a picture of me recently, and boy, have I changed. I changed a lot, and transformed more or less is what I should say, because that older version of me is not the newer version I'm sitting here now. It's not the version of me that you see now. So when and going to I remember this. I remember this to the day I die. My mom was taking me down to Cincinnati State to uh, take their entrance exam or whatever, just to see where I place. You had to get into dumb classes. Spoiler alert. Um, and I was walking down their hallway and I saw this one dude with dreads. And I was just like, whoa, I've never seen that before. You gotta think, I was 18 at the time, never saw dreads, never saw them in my life. It's a big culture shock. It's a big culture shock. So you gotta, if you haven't seen something before, you're gonna see it in college. You're gonna see it. So just remember, when you see it, don't get afraid of it. That dude was probably the nicest dude on the planet, but because of how closed off my mind was at the time, never made friends with him. Now through my college years, yes, I made friends. I sure did. So I mean, and it was, it wasn't with the dreads, dude, but it was with other people that like. I feel like they were putting my. Actually, I take that back. I did make friends with a guy with dreads. He was a rocker dude. He was a real rocker dude. Smart, very smart, and intelligent, man. I remember going to his house. He helped me with math. I suck at anything past a calculator, except trigonometry. That was always fun for me. But I had a really awesome teacher. And you're going to go to school realizing, even in high school, you got some dumb teachers, you got some smart ones, and you got some great ones. Same thing with college. But I remember going to this guy's house, and it was all gothed out, you know. Plus it was Halloween then, so like a favorite holiday of goth people is Halloween. Favorite holiday. So spider webs everywhere, you gotta get pumpkins, all this stuff. Nicest dude I've ever met. Out of everybody I met in my life, he was the nicest dude I've ever met. Sat there for 2 hours, just like he could tell I was not getting anything. He could tell right off the rip. And he sat there for 2 hours, just like, okay, here's X, circled it. You have to figure it out. Here's the formula. I was just like, oh, I got a C in that class, so we passed it. So, but yeah, nicest guy on the planet. And don't be afraid to, meet people like that. People that have that look about them. They're probably nicer than your own parents. So, good lesson there too. What is the toughest part of change? I asked Google. The toughest part of change is often letting go of the familiar and comfortable aspects of the current state, even if those aspects are not ideal. This can manifest as resistance to new habits, routines, and or ways of thinking. It's the discomfort of the unknown and the fear of the potential risks associated with change that makes it so challenging. Do not be afraid to change. Do not be afraid to embrace new things that is coming into your life. Don't be afraid of it. I often do have a problem with that. I'll tell you one thing. When I moved to Colorado, that was a big change for me, and I feared it so much, and I missed out on so much living in Colorado. So, don't if you're moving to a new area, embrace it, man. Embrace it fully. And your routines are gonna change. Uh, once you thought, I just hope that whoever's watching this goes to wherever they're going and embraces it fully, and doesn't, let fear hold you back. Don't let fear hold you back, because that's how you do not grow, and you do not change, and you do not make things better for yourself. That's number one. Out of all the lessons in this podcast, that is number one. Don't let the fear hold you back. And I was taught at an early age, get a good job, build your 401k, and retire, then die. No. No.
I that implies that I'm going to be the same person for the rest of my life, and I refuse to do that. I refuse to do it. I try and do new things. Um, if I see the pattern staying the same one week, it's gonna move to the next pattern. Or I let me rephrase that. I gotta change that pattern because I'm gonna develop a massive depression. I'm gonna not want to do anything. So things have to change, and things for me have to change in order to make myself feel better about where I'm at in life. You know, and I think I was right in. Actually, I was going to that trade school in high school. Is when that started kicking in because, going to a Catholic school, it's very routine. They built me to be very routine. We got science at this time. We got math at this time. We got religion at this time. Yada 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 yada. And then going to high school is like, oh my god, this is such a breath of fresh air. Like I get to change everything. Or going to the trade school. It's vocational. That's the word I'm looking for. Vocational school. You mean like I can do this and then go and do that? Like, okay, like this is nice. This is what plus I'm a hands-on learner. I learn with my hands. I don't learn with reading, Like if I listen to something, yeah, I'll remember it. But if I read it, I forget the first page. Like I gotta go back and read the page 3 times for me to understand it. So I think I'm getting a little off topic here, but yeah, do not be afraid to change with what's going on in your life, with your reality, because it's gonna hold you back. It's gonna hold you back. Things are gonna hold you back, and do not be afraid to change, man. Do not be afraid of it. Um, I wrote down here for somebody, or for you all, describe a few things in your life that changed and how you think about things differently. A few things that changed in my life. Well, vocational school was one of them. It got me thinking that, there's more to life than just a paycheck and a 401k. Um, Doing this podcast has gotten me thinking a lot. Uh, I don't have to go to work every day and come back home and just sit around and watch TV. I'm not. That is boring. Um, streaming has been. Excuse me. Streaming has been a wonderful thing for me because I get to change the video game. Um, things I have to alter or tweak things in my life to make sure that I am okay with myself. Because if I'm not okay with myself, nothing in my world's gonna be okay. Um, you know, Even changing where I live is helpful. You may see me in a different apartment complex when I renew or when I get rid of my or when the lease comes up here. So you may see that. You may see a different, you know, set. You may see something. I don't know. Um, let's see. What was another big thing for me? Uh, that's really like Colorado was a big change because you just get to see the different cultures and different. Because Denver, Colorado is very. Uh, I don't think that's a word, so I got to rephrase the sentence. It's a very different culture in Colorado. There's multiple cultures in Colorado. Uh, when I moved back to Cincinnati, I didn't see that, but now I do. There's a lot of multiple cultures out there, and that's a big change for me too. There's a big Spanish population here, a big Spanish culture, I should say here, And I never knew that about Cincinnati. I thought it was just uh, white and African American. That's all I thought. And it is not. Not saying it's bad. Not saying it's bad. There's plenty of Spanish senoritas out there that look really good. Really good. So, and you know what? As a matter of fact, I've dated an African American woman, and that was a huge change for me too. And it was better because I think white girls are just, warm bowls of noodles to me. Very plain and boring. So, I mean, in date, I encourage people to date outside their race or their nationality, whatever it may be. Um, it is quite the journey, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun getting to understand people's culture. Like I dated a girl from Kazakhstan in Denver. It was great learning about their culture. Her personality, she was very funny, but I think her ideas um, are very meh, you know. Um, and I'll say that I'll say that with you know experiences. So I she was funny. She was very smart, and but she was just I think well I know she values money more than she does a relationship. So that's not good for a relationship. And if you do get into a relationship, do not value money more than your partner. Don't do it. It's not good. It will tear your relationship apart, and it's just not good for you. So stay away. Be on the same page with money, but do not value it more than your partner. So, um, how did I handle the change of everything? That's kind of a loaded question. It's basically asking how do you handle change? Well, you embrace change. You make sure that change is, uh, make sure that you understand that change is the only thing that doesn't change in life. Everything's going to always change and everything is always going to be there. By there, I mean change is always going to be there. You might wake up want a new haircut. It could be that small. You may wake up and want to start dressing differently. It could be that small. You know what I mean? You go from wearing prim and proper clothes to t-shirts with holes in them. You know, by God, do it. You know, I still wear the same shirts I wear, you know, 5, 6 years ago. I don't buy clothes for myself like I should. I don't change the wardrobe because number one, I'm a welder, so I don't want holes in my all of my shirts. Number two, I don't like spending money on myself unless it's for something. Now I got a brand new gaming PC, but it was for streaming because I got Twitch affiliate. Um, but yeah, it could be something small like that, a small change like that that turns into a bigger one. Okay, well I changed my haircut and I like that. Well, uh, let's just change how I brush my teeth. Or just change how I take the garbage out. I could walk one way. Let's try walking another. You know, it sometimes for people it has to be that small. You know what I mean? It has to be uh, that small because they're so afraid to change, and they're so afraid of how they do changing how they do things that they think it could damn near kill them. It won't. It makes you feel better about yourself. It's what it does. So don't fear change. Always embrace change, and always make sure that you're going and you're going to be okay. Simple as that. You're going to be okay. How has your mind changed over the years? the biggest change is your mind. That's a very good question I asked myself. How has my mind changed over the years? Well, I went from a narrowistic, I don't even know if that's a word. I went from a narrow point of view to an open point of view, meaning it was get married, have a good job, have a good 401k, retire, and then die within a couple years later. That was my point of view. That was it. And now I'm like, let's just see what happens. let's just let's just see what happens. You know? Let's just take a roll. At 37 years old, let's see what happens. That's all I got. And when you get to that point in your life, because you will, you're gonna. Okay, so you're gonna go from college to the real world, realizing that college only taught you to show up for 4 years, and that's what your employer is looking at. And I mean, your employer is looking at, okay, this kid showed up, or this person showed up for 4 years at something, got a degree at something, and so he's willing to stay there for a while. He's willing to be there for the long haul. That's what college is. It's a piece of paper that says you did something. That's it. And I'll tell you what, I'm a welder. I got a college degree in human resources. That was in 2020 when I started college. Still a welder. So it was free. College was free through the union. But what was the point? Well, the point was to move up into the office someday. I apply, and here's a better thing too. Understand this. Companies are looking for experience, but they want to train you as an intern. So they're gonna pay you a lot less than uh, someone they're gonna pay you a lot less than someone who, let's just say, how am I trying to say this? You're gonna be an intern. And if you're at that age to be an intern, do it. And then you can move up somewhere else. And then you can move up somewhere else. And then you can move up. And you're going to job hop for a little bit, depending on what you go into. Journalism, language, whatever. I picked a career that's stable enough to stay at one place for a long period of time. And I got blessed by where I work now. So, but if I was gonna go back and do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have went to college. Honest for me, I would have went into. I probably would have started streaming video games, to be perfectly honest with you, and sticking with drums, because I was getting pretty good, and then it just life hit, quit playing. I'd probably go that route, like musician, comedian, streamer. Now that I'm building it at 37 compared to building it at 17, that's the route I would have went instead of college. Which, let me say this one time. College may work for you. You know what I mean? Depending on what you want to do. Doctor, lawyer, yada, 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 the big jobs. But if you're looking to go for like archaeology and all that kind of stuff, go volunteer at an archaeological place. See if you really want to do it first. Try different things. Go volunteer at an animal shelter. See if you want. You could, instead of being a lawyer, you might want to be a vet tech, or, a doctor of veterinary medicine. You might want to be a train conductor. You might want to be a lifeguard instructor. Who knows? But if you're at that age, I'd say like 17 to 20, go try different things. Don't just go off and go to college, because college is very expensive now these days. So pick what you want to do. Just don't. I've seen plenty of people hit their 30s and be like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. So now they got to start completely over. They're 8 years, 7, 8 years into their college degree or career, and they don't want to do it anymore. So don't try different things. That's what I would have done too. Try different things instead of just being shipped off to college. Because I'll tell you what, right now, and I'll admit this, only for 2 years at Cincinnati State didn't get a college degree, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I seriously didn't know what I wanted to do. And I messed around, and now I got to pay on student loans because for a 2-year degree that I didn't get. You better find something you love. If you need a degree in it, go get it. If you don't, even better, find someone who will pay for your degree. Not for you paying for it, someone who wants to pay for it. And plenty of companies out there want to, because they want to invest in you, and they want to make sure that you get the best education for it. So, let's see. Do I have anything else I want to talk to? No, I don't. I don't have any other questions. But I hope this helped. Change is a big thing. Change is the biggest thing on this planet. And it's not the fact that, they say money makes the world go around. I said it on a podcast episode, 2 things that make the world go around is money and physics and shit. But a third thing that would make the world go around is probably change. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be lurking. When you feel like that time to just move forward with something and let something go, that's going to be your change. It's going to be the point of it. And it's going to be up to you to whether you go down the fear side or down the embrace side. So I would pick the embrace side more than I would pick fear. So, cool. So there's a sports bike screaming by. I don't want to see if the mic picked it up. But it looked like it didn't. So, change. The thing that always changes, or the thing that never changes, is that everything changes. I hope this helped. I hope whoever watches this episode, it really kind of connects, and who needs it. Change is a good thing. By all means, change is a good thing. So don't let something changing your life stopping you from embracing the fullness of it and the excitement of it. You know what I mean? Don't let it stop you. I want to thank you for joining me for another wonderful episode. We'll keep this short. Twitch.tv/on level 162. The podcast is on YouTube at Mind of JPA. And keep changing. Keep embracing the change. Keep embracing a better you. And keep your eyes on God. And remember to fear God, keep His commandments. And I will see you on the next one.